Not knowing many places to sit down and relax, I return to the cafe. Some days I need to have a break from all the hard work, so I decide today is a nice enough day to venture outside again and join a nice cup of coffee. I feel okay. When I enter the cafe, I feel a prickle in my neck like someone's watching me. Spider senses. Fight him. Casually I scan the area as I stand in line at the counter looking over at the people seated at the booths. There's actually quite a few nurses having coffee here, probably taking a break. Stop commenting that nurses are there. They're allowed to have their lunch breaks, not in the hospital. Leave them alone. That's when I notice a familiar person sticking out. Well, it's hard not to spot him considering he was looking right at me. What do you want? Neil hardly averts his eyes away from me once he notices I've spotted him. He's seated at the back of a booth holding a cup of coffee while the other hand is resting on his laptop. He tries hard to make it seem like he's busy and that his eyes didn't just meet mine. He's acting as weird as he did when I last saw him exiting my store. No, that was weirder. Running away from confrontation literally is very strange. Ma'am, may I take your order? Suddenly snap back to my thoughts and look at the store clerk. Right, I wanted coffee. That is why I'm in the coffee shop. Quickly recite my order and wait in line. Rocking back and forth on my feet, my eyes wander over to a certain purple-haired man. Stop staring at me, it's creepy. I know I'm a demon, but come on. Neil's eyes lock with mine again. I can feel a lump form in my throat. Go throw coffee on his laptop. Go do it. His eyes move away at lightning speed. He hunches over his own laptop as if he's using it as a shield to hide behind. What's up with him? Why is he acting so weird around me? Because you're a demon, Articles. I realized I ruined his shirt in our first meeting, but I didn't think he'd still be upset about it. He's upset about other things, ma'am. Maybe I should offer to compensate him again for his shirt. We never really did figure out what to do about it since he stormed off. Just leave him. Just leave. Don't. No. He didn't say you have to pay for it, so don't. Not that he really needs any compensation or anything. The Forrester family is quite wealthy. Make him a really ugly shirt. Yes. Go make him an ugly shirt. The store clerk calls out my attention to hand over a cup of coffee. I press my lips to blow a bit of steam from the cup. Then I hold it securely in my hands, not wanting a repeat of last time's mistake. Oh, scene change. I look around for a seat, and that's when my eyes once more lock with Neil's. Why didn't you just go sit, or is this like a Starbucks? Yet again, he swiftly looks someplace else. Stop staring at me. Okay, now it's really still anybody. Yes, it's weird. Determined, I make my way over to the farthest booth. You should have. I was gonna say, you should have just like asserted your dominance and just gone to sat in his booth and be like, since you wanna look at me. This is really awkward angle. Why are your keys so massive? What are you typing? With each step I take, I can see Neil crouching more and more behind his laptop. When I finally reach the table, I can see his arm covering his head with his face pressed against his keyboard. It's as if he thinks that by hiding like this I won't actually see him. Maybe he hopes you'll take a hint and leave him alone. It all looks rather comical with a dash of stupid. That's fair. He's trying his best not to acknowledge me. I cough to make my presence known. He's trying to protect his laptop from your coffee. With a disgruntled sigh, he removes his arm and sits up in a defeated manner. This is so stupid. What do you want? He asks. Why don't you take a picture? I bite my lip and narrow my eyes at him. I was about to ask you the same thing. Why don't you just take a picture so it'll last longer? Your staring is uncomfortable. He jolts up straight and glares at me. I did no such thing. Annoyed at his stupid games, I place my saucer on his table. Is this because of your shirt still? I did try to offer you money for it, but you left so fast last time. Did I somehow insult you? Insult me, he says with a scoff. No, rather you ruined my childhood memories. Take me back. Ruined? It's not my fault. Your own feelings about genders is your own issue, man. Misogyny. Kill you. What does he mean by that? Are you talking about that time we were at the playground? That was you, wasn't it? The boy, I mean. There were supposed to be 2 boys in that memory of mine. Why is that so important to you? He says while clenching his teeth. Again, I'm not a boy. Oh, shit. This is getting tiring. It really is. Yes, I can see that. He icily replies. Obviously he didn't. We're both silent for a little while, staring at each other, trying to gauge what the other is thinking. It's Neil who breaks away again, opting to look at his laptop screen instead. He rubs the palm of his hand against his forehead, clearly deep in thought. Look, I'm sorry. For some reason I made you believe I was a boy at that time, but I wasn't trying to deceive you. I'm not even sure why it's such a big deal. I thought you'd be happy to meet me again. I know I am kind of happy to meet someone from my childhood, but also, you're ruining my memories now because you're being a dick. So, let's just not talk ever again. Neil looks appalled at what I said. He suddenly closes his laptop and gets up from the booth. Gosh. It doesn't matter, just leave me be. I can forget that day you spilled coffee on me like it never happened if that's what's compelling you to keep talking to me, and I'm not seeking any compensation. Aren't you? So now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Cheers. I'm baffled by the way he keeps having these dramatic exits and leaving me speechless. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about him paying him back for his shirt anymore. I wasn't worried about that at all. Ooh, I have an important client that I need to do. After a long day at work, I want to explore what my city has to offer. I end up at the local park for a casual stroll during the evening. The park is mostly deserted. I see a couple of people walking their dogs. Yes, best. I sit down on a bench and enjoy the crickets chirping in the background. The night sky is clear and I can see the stars. Business has been going fine so far. It's hard work, but I think I've finally settled into a pace I like. Nothing has really disturbed me from my work, even though sometimes my thoughts wander to my memories. Memories of a certain purple-haired boy in the playground. That was it. Honestly. Ever since that day in the coffee shop, I keep thinking of Neil when he was little. The memory has always held a special place in my heart, even though nothing extraordinary happened back then. I don't know, I think it was pretty intense. He was lost and scared little boy, and I helped him out. Just never realized he thought I was a boy as well. Does not matter. Regardless, mixing up my gender shouldn't have Neil freaking out so much. Okay, listen. Let me just hold on. But I can't pinpoint exactly what it is that has got Neil in such a tizzy. My theory, my personal theory, is he fell in love with Articles, whom he thought was a boy. And now he's really confused, because he's never loved anyone like he did that small boy on the playground that one time, which is really weird, and honestly, you need to move on, my friend. But maybe that's why. So he's just like upset, because it's like Mulan. Not that I can really do anything about it, because I haven't really spoken to him since. I've seen him a couple of times in passing, usually near the hospital. He might work there, but I'm not sure. Nevertheless, each time I've seen him, he's either not noticed me or pretended not to notice me. I'm annoyed by it either way. I figured we could be friends after finding out that we'd met each other before in our childhood, but I guess it was wrong. Suddenly, I hear someone approach me in the dead of night, and I stare into the distance to figure out who it is. Run! Oh, it's you. Not a second later, I see Neil emerge from the darkness, his head hanging low, looking at the ground. He hasn't even noticed me. He's too engrossed into whatever he's doing. It seems he's looking around for something, because he's checking every spot on the trail, and then sighing when there's nothing there. He stops at a trash can and looks the ground over there, crouching down to get a better view. I chew on my lip, deciding whether or not to call out to him. Then, of course, I remember the last time we spoke, and he wasn't very welcoming back then. In fact, he wanted me to stop talking to him. Should I even bother? No! I watch him for a few silent seconds, deciding whether or not to approach him. Just leave him to dig in the trash. Just leave him to dig in the trash. He hasn't really been all that polite to me, so I'm just gonna ignore him. Try as I might, I can't help but watch him out of the corner of my eye. He's really trying to find something. I know the game is pushing me to be nice, but I don't want to. Not today. Soon enough, he's at the bench where I'm sitting. Surprise washes over him as he finally notices me. Took him long enough. He shuffles on his feet a bit, then clears his throat to get my attention. Excuse me, have you seen a silver watch around here? I lift up my chin with a huff and ignore his question. See how he likes being ignored for a change. Neil glares at me. Fine, I'm an adult. I don't need your help. Dude, if there's a silver watch in a park in the middle of the city, it's not gonna be there when you get back. He continues to look around, ignoring me. It's hard to get along with him. I mean, you're not trying. I guess having met each other when we were kids doesn't mean we get to be friends when we're adults. That's fair. I got reacquainted with my kindergarten best friend. We were friends when we were 5. And then we went to separate schools, and then in high school she was friends with my then best friend, because we were in different high schools. My best friend from church. And then I met her again, and now she's married. And she's happy. And I still like her. Got a soft spot in my heart for her. The thought leaves me a little sad. I forgot what we were talking about. I try my best to ignore Neil, but I'm starting to feel unwelcome here. In the park, it's a public space. Just sit. What with the way he's deliberately not looking at me or searching in my general area. I decide to leave. No point in staying when I can't enjoy the peace and quiet of the night with someone rustling behind me. So I get up from the wooden bench, dust off my clothes, and start to leave. I walk in a faster pace because I really don't like how I can feel Neil's eyes burning a hole in my back. Give me a break. There's no peace. There's also when I hear a piercing sound of shattering glass. I look down at my feet. It seems the heel of my shoe has driven into the glass of a silver watch. My mouth slowly shapes into an O. Just let me die. I think I found your watch. I say nervously. Take a small step sideways and pick up the broken and expensive looking watch. There's a huge crack in the glass. I grimaced. Okay, now I was about to say, why don't you look where you're going? But, like, it occurs to me normal people don't just look at their feet when they walk, so... I think you may be doing this on purpose, says Neil when he's caught up with me. Well, I definitely didn't do it on purpose, but I'm sure Neil will think whatever he wants to think. He snatches the watch out of my hand and inspects it. His eyes studying the broken glass. I cringe in anticipation of what he's gonna say. Fisticuffs at dawn! I require you to pay for a replacement as soon as possible. I want to protest, but I know I have no leg to stand on. I sheepishly nod my head. How much was it? No! 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 Go to hell! Swine! Eat the rich! Kill him! No! Around 6,000 euros! I think that's a sign for euros, I don't even know! Why would you wear something that's that expensive? And then lose it? It's just the glass. Can't I replace the glass? I will find you a sheet of glass for your watch. Hey! I don't have that kind of money to spend. I shriek out. That's way too much. That's a ridiculous amount of money for a watch. You should have thought of that before your heel punctured my watch, he said coolly. How about I punch you in the face and steal your watch? How about that? I'm gonna defend myself. I'm so sorry. No, it was an accident. I didn't do it on purpose. You shouldn't have lost it in the first place. Oh, you want to pin the blame of your mistakes on me? I guess you spilling coffee all over me the other day was also my fault. Yes, because you bumped into me. Hey, I tried to offer to pay for your dry cleaning back then and you declined. That's because you absolutely ruined it. There was no saving it. It's a white shirt. Go to Pep stores. It definitely was, I fired back childishly. Just because you're ignorant about the way liquids interact with fabric doesn't mean it was a lost cause. Besides, you could have tie-dyed it. How cool would that have been? Neil definitely didn't like being called ignorant, on top of his breaking his watch as well. It was written all over his face. He was scowling by now. We're on our way to the bad end, and it's fine. Being the owner of some petite little boutique doesn't make you the expert on all things fabric. I went to school for this. I studied fashion. You don't know anything about fashion. You're wearing like brown pants with the grey thing. You look like a history professor. I can feel myself starting to turn a little red with rage. I'll have you know, I know tons of things about fabric that would never even cross your mind. Just because you're rich and pay for everything without a second thought doesn't mean everyone else does the same thing. Some of us know what we're buying and why. And also, I have a degree in fashion. Most important, the atmosphere is getting tense between us. I can't help myself. If he insults me, of course I'm gonna defend myself. I'm gonna kick your butt. I'll contact you again regarding the watch, and I hope by then you've learned to be more civilized. Never! Never! No! Rage. Ah, this is a terrible date. Neil gives me a pointed glare and then leaves the park. Kill him. He dares to speak about being civilized. The guy who's been nothing but rude since the beginning has the nerve to talk about manners. Fine, he can come look me up about that watch. I'm not paying him. Absolutely not. Steal the watch. Take it.